Thanks. Pen on your side now in the garden. Joining us this Saturday morning live in studio. It's been a couple weeks, but we're glad he's here. Dabney Morgan.
Good morning.
Hey, how are you?
Doing great, thank you.
Today's going to be a beautiful day. We just heard Jeff say it. Right. Tomorrow, though, a lot of rain coming down.
Well, we need it. I tell you, that's going
so you're happy about
welcome news.
You're happy about this?
Yes, I am. The only thing is, I don't know that we want to run out today and do a lot of planting of young plants. Just the fact, either whether they'll float away or
get
just
washed out there.
Or washed out. Yeah. So, but
hey, let's get to the phone lines. A lot of folks trying to get in touch with Dabney this morning. We'll start with Cher in Chesapeake. Cher, good morning. What's your question for Dabney?
Hi, good morning, Dabney. I have a question. I have pots that I used last year for the first time. I plant all my...
I don't think we can hear Cher on our end, can we?
I can't, no.
Oh, unfortunately, I think we had issues with our phone line there. We apologize for that. Dabney, let's talk a little bit about what folks can be doing in the meantime as far as preparing their gardens.
Yeah, you know, a lot of folks are coming in there asking, you know, is it too late? But keep in mind, we're still only the middle, well, like right after the middle of April, so we still have several weeks without any problem of planting. And, you know, this seems to be the year of the vegetable. Everybody's planting vegetable plants. They go in the grocery store and I guess price of produce. Yeah. In fact, folks are staying a little bit closer to home. And of course, the most popular are your tomatoes. And everybody asks for what's the best tomato variety. And I suppose probably the most popular is Better Boy, and that's an indeterminate. And when you read your tags and buying tomato plants, they'll either say determinate, indeterminate. Indeterminate means they bear continually through the season. Determinate usually are bush types that only bear one time or twice, and then that's it, and you have to replace them. Some of the older varieties, heirloom varieties, such as Rutgers, Marglobe, those were determinate. You plant those, and you get the one picking, and then you replace them. But the indeterminate will keep on going the whole season. Of course, we always recommend when you plant tomatoes, particularly the larger ones, always be sure to put a cup of pellet lime under each plant to prevent blossom end rot, because that's where the bottom of the tomato turns black once they start ripening.
All right, Dabney, I think we've got somebody on the line now. We've got this worked out. We think let's go back now to Cher in Chesapeake, see if we can get her question for Dabney. Hey, Cher.
Hey, good morning, Dabney.
Good morning.
Hey, I started planting my tomato plants and all my garden in pots. So it's going to be my second year that I'm doing that. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to use the soil that I used last year, so I don't have to go out and buy, you know, new soil. Right. What's the best fertilizer to use? Because it's dry and it's got some roots in there, and I know I have to sift through it. Right. But what's the best fertilizer?
Good question. You know, we can continually use the same soil year after year. The main thing you want to do is revitalize that soil, so you want to mix in a good compost or organic fertilizer to make the soil better, and then of course as far as fertilizing the plant, whatever fertilizer you prefer to use, whether it be you can continue with the organic fertilizer and do it every couple of weeks, or you can go to some of the chemical fertilizer, but just incorporate some good compost or organic matter into the soil to revive it, and then you'll be fine.
All right, let's go down to North Carolina. Chris in Edenton. Chris, go ahead with your question for Dabney.
Hello?
Hey, Chris, go ahead with your question.
Yes, good morning. I used Dabney's formula for tomatoes the last couple of years, and it works fantastic.
There you go.
But I wanted to know if there was like a customized fertilizer for peppers and cucumbers and squash and beans, that sort of thing.
Right. Well, before we plant the garden, we want to mix in a compost and maybe a little bit of lime. As far as your other vegetable plants, just the regular fertilizer is the only extra thing you need. The tomato formula he's speaking of, and Jeff, he's going to have to do that. He's planting tomatoes this year.
I know. You were boasting about him, and you were upset that I'm not planting anything.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry,
we got to get you gardening. But the formula is under each tomato plant, a cup of lime, a cup of bone meal, a cup of manure, and a little bit of fertilizer. And why we do that is, again, on these indeterminate plants, they're going to go right on through October, November, so you need extra under those where most of your other vegetable plants are a shorter season crop.
All right, Dabney, we got to stop it there, unfortunately. Okay. Linda's still on the line. Linda, hang on the line. We'll get you to ask your question once we get into commercial break. But right now, we are going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with Jeff's final look at the forecast. Stay with us.